He's like kind of more of a real guy.
Yeah.
And the cop aspect of that, our FBI agent aspect of that is research.
Yeah, I mean, like Yohan said, I was drawn to the material initially. I think coming off of a show that was a serialized thriller, amongst many other things, this seemed like another great way to go. And getting to play an FBI agent, I had the luxury of where I played that part similar to that on a movie called Smoking Agent a while back, albeit he was a very twisted FBI agent. But I figured there's some darkness to the role. There's a chance to work with great actors, and also I later to find out to reconnect with Yohan. We did a show many years ago for CBS called Century City. So it was a bit of a reunion for us at least. But no, for me it's always about the material. It was tremendous. A great conceit off the page. I immediately jumped at it, and that's all credit to Nicole Hammock.
The showrunner is down here in the front. Do you have some sort of closure to the season, and do you have next season mapped out? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can answer this without being spoilery, but once this season's central dilemma is solved,
how do you sustain it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, when we pitched the series, we had 3 seasons mapped out, and much like Damages, we wanted to play with time and perspective, and because you're playing with both of those, that gives you a lot of latitude. So essentially, you're able to, tell the same story, but from a different perspective, and when it's from a different perspective, it's a different story.
I mean, he said it so well. I can elaborate by saying that, again, we know where we're going. Our goal is to sustain the gap moments and the tease that we established in the pilot and keep that going until we end with a big punch at the end of the first season. And then we will start all over again, and we will continue to deliver that. We do have an idea where we're going.
Sarah Michelle, to your left. Was there ever a period of time you thought this show wasn't going between the time that CBS perhaps was
So interesting. The answer actually is no, but the whole way this came about is such an interesting story, and I think it gives credit to what we're trying to do. And Nina Tassler had read it, and I love Nicole and we'd always been talking about doing something together, but we weren't sure this was a show, and Nina just loved the show. I kept calling and saying, just come in and talk to me. And I said, I don't know about Network 22. I don't know. I was my baby. I'm not sure I'm ready for those hours. And Nina kept calling because she was such a champion of the show. And finally, I went in and I spoke with Nina and her passion, and she was going to let us. One of our fears was, do we fit into the CBS mold? Is that really? And we were concerned about that. And Nina kept saying, we'll let you do what you want to do. The show you want to make. And so she won us over, and we all decided to do the show. And while we were filming, too, it was always on our minds, like, are we going to have a procedural element? Will the audience that CBS does cater to, will they respond to the show? All those things were always in the back of our minds. And it's a terrible process, what you go through during pilot season. So all the shows turn themselves in, and there's like a good 4 weeks, maybe 4 to 6 weeks between when you turn it in and, the night before when you get that phone call to get on the plane to New York. And we turned it in and got a phone call pretty much the next day or 2 days. I mean, it was like 2 days later from Les saying, I love this show. I have the same fears, you do. What do you think about putting it up at CW? We're sort of revamping. Mark Pedowitz is coming in. We're going to have this. And I thought about it, and we all talked, and it just made sense. And it took almost like it was a relief for us, because we knew that we could tell more of the stories that we wanted to tell on that network. And CW has been so incredibly supportive. I mean, nobody has better advertising and marketing than the CW, and they respect what we're trying to do. So it was a blessing.
Do you thought that your mind that change happened between I may be on CBS and I'm going to be on CW, that had significant impact?
Personally, or do you mean for the show?
Personally.
You know, personally, it took a little weight off my shoulders because essentially, you know, a good half of the people at the CW are the same people that I worked with at the WB. And so it was a homecoming in a sense, and it made the transition a lot easier. You know, I've been a mom for 2 years, and I didn't even have a nanny, so it was like all of a sudden I'm leaving, and to be able to have people that understood me and would work around that I was so grateful for, and I was grateful to know that we would all be on the same page in terms of marketing the show, in terms of the creative of the show. And you know, it's hard. CBS, that network has these huge numbers. There's always a concern that if you can't hit that number, you don't have the same time to develop a fan base that you necessarily can get in a smaller network. And honestly, like I said, I truly believe it's a blessing. And our fear was always, do we fit in at CBS? But the answer was, you know, we fit in at CW.
Where are you